know if I'm live now. Ay. Well, there you go. That's why being at the bottom of a shed in your garden isn't the best for internet reception. Although I've done pretty well over the years. But that has just cut me out in my stride. I don't know how far I got. But if you're watching this video, sorry, I literally was going on a big rant then about this STO. I was talking about it. We are back. I don't know if this is going to create two separate videos now, or if this is going to be one whole one. So I might have to record what I want to say in a recorded video and then upload it. So anyway, Crypto Carl says we are back. Yes, mate, we are. I'm sorry about that. My internet must have I don't know, I assume my internet went down. I can't see why it has cut out. It says I've got excellent connection. Government shut you down already. Damn it, they're on to me. You're right. Carl, what was the last thing you heard me talk about? Because obviously I don't know when I got cut off. We'll wait for some more people to join back in. I don't really want to have to go over everything I went through again. 27 minutes property prices, then you cut off. 27 minutes property prices. Property prices. So, yeah. So, sorry, if you were watching... it's going to be... So I've just recorded a video then. I think that's YouTube are going to create that as one video. So now this is technically a second video. So if you don't know what I'm talking about at this point, go back and watch that first video, which is obviously going to be uploaded first. And then come back and watch this video. Sorry, I might have to say my message all over again, but in a more recorded session rather than a live stream. Thanks for that, Carl. So yeah, we were talking about house prices in the UK, and you can't actually get a loan against house prices as a business that plans to buy properties. You can get around it by lying. You can say, well, actually, I'm just setting up a business to, I don't know, renovate properties, or I plan to be a plumber or a builder and I want to buy a van and do some advertising and stuff like that. And they will lend you the 25 grand. But again, I've tried to do this the most legit, non-scammy way possible. Oh, I can't believe that cut out. I was talking all about the token sales and everything. So, how many people have we got live now? It says we've got 2 viewers. Hey. Sorry, Carl. Thanks for joining back though. That's annoying. It says I've got excellent connection as well. That's the most frustrating bit. So I literally don't know why that happened. Make that free. Cheers, Julian. Okay, so this is going to be all messed up now. It's going to go over 2 videos. People get confused with what I was talking about. I'm going to have to start over again at some point. So let's put it to you three. The 3 that are watching, have you got any questions for me? I'd like you guys to ask me some questions regarding the project, if there's anything you'd like to know. You'll notice as well that I haven't mentioned the name of it, and that's because I don't want someone to go out there and just copy it or set up a website or create something and then I'm stuffed, I can't get hold of it myself. So is there anything you guys would like to ask me? No? I don't know how delayed this is. I hate this YouTube live thing. I used to love doing these live streams, but recently the way YouTube have changed it now, it's all over the place. I think there's a couple minute delay, so you guys are probably going to ask me questions while I'm talking about something else. Let's get rid of that. As said in your other video, the start was really good, and I am, yeah, but Guy, myself, and I am a bit jealous for those that can do. I would be afraid in your position. As said in your other video, the start was really good. I am a yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. I am a yeah, but guy myself, and I'm a bit jealous for those that can do. Well, the thing is, like I was saying, Fryer, is that, you know, I'm trying to create something, and I want to create something all legit, transparent, and clear. I was just saying before it got cut out that the tokens that I'm looking to, although I'm accepting more risk in my investments as usual, people, I'd guess. Yeah, you are. I mean, if you're in cryptocurrency, you're obviously investing in something very risky that may pay off or it may not. You don't know, do you? So I suppose you're not completely a yeah but person, but I come across a lot of them, especially when I start talking about business ideas. I was talking to someone today, actually, and we were talking about my brother. When my brother was younger, I used to say to him, "Ant, what do you want to do when you're older?" And he said, "I want to work in a bar in Spain." And that was his, you know, this was when he was younger. I mean, he might still say the same now, but and I said to him, why you know, work for minimum. Your life ambition is to work for minimum wage for long hours. You know, talking to people that are probably going to talk to you like dirt. Why not own the bar? Own a bar in Spain. And then if you don't like the customers, you can say, go on, clear off. And I was saying today to my son, he was talking about when he grows older, he wants to work in a pub. And I said, yeah, that's fine. I said, but why not own the pub? Just think a bit bigger. And then once you think of the end goal, think backwards. How do you achieve it? How much money do you need, or who do you need to get in front of? And start working out how you're going to get there from where you are today. And you will find that all of a sudden things start to click into place. The second you stand there and go, yeah, but, oh, I don't know, oh, it depends, oh, what if this happens, what if she says that, what if I don't get that money, then you've come to a stop already. You've failed already. Your whole venture has ended there. I think sometimes you just need to push through it. You need to, you know, push through it and get through to the other side. And whether you fail or not, that's entirely, you know, you may fail. And you can say to someone, I bought a bar in Spain and the house prices went down and the government wanted higher rent, and they said because I was English that, you know, it was harder for me to run a business out there, and we got run out by the local mafia, or I don't know, whatever excuses it may be, you can hand on heart say I gave it a go. I tried my best. But you should never be... Now, I'm not saying be reckless. I'm not saying go out there, quit your job, go and do what you want to do tomorrow. And you hear a lot of people do that. There's a guy who does YouTube videos called Samuel Leeds. And one of the criticisms he's got is that when you go to his seminars... Samuel... There you go. Come on, top one. When you go to his seminars, he will try and convince you to, like, quit your job today, quit your job and do the whole property thing. And people literally ring up. He'll say to him, ring your boss up now and say, I'm not coming into work Monday. And they'll quit their job. Now, I'm not saying do that. I'm not saying be completely reckless. But, you know, you should... there you go, look, why I quit my 6-figure salary. That's the type of advertising that he's doing. And he's getting a lot of stick for it. for every time I hear about him now, he's being sued or going to court. Crypto Carl says, what's the business plan going to be going forward? How will you pay the investors? What can you buy with 50k? Ah, some brilliant questions coming through now. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Stephen. So, the way that purchasing properties, now you can buy properties for 50k. I've just proven that I've just bought one for 42. It's now been renovated. It's worth 85. Or if you want to get a more run-of-the-mill, typical, standard property, you're probably looking more like 100 to 150 grand. Now, if you purchase a property for 100, 150 grand, typically with business finance, you need a 25% deposit. 25%. Now that means that I can go to a, say, bridging finance or a loan company. What did I not understand is... Sorry, I'm jumping from conversation to conversation here. When you provide the liquidity, how do you use that money for buying the property? So, yeah, you guys probably cut off when I was talking about... Sorry. So, let's say I raise the money through this token sale. I plan to use a lending platform like Nexo. I've been using them for a few weeks. Would you need to leave the money on the platform, I guess? Well, I would send, at the point that you send me the Ethereum for the tokens, what happens to that Ethereum is really on my shoulders. Now, Richard Hart, when he talks about Hex, I don't mean to keep associating myself with Richard Hart and Hex, but it's just because obviously I've seen that recently. He says, well, you know, no one knows who owns the Ethereum. Well, I'm telling you, I will have the Ethereum. I'm not just going to go and dump it. And then at that point, you're at my mercy. If I go on a massive spending spree and I go, oh, guys, I'm really sorry the project didn't work out. Then, obviously, you can now, obviously, because I've announced it as a STO, you could then try and sue me and obviously all that sort of stuff. So, obviously, it's not in my best interest. Me coming out and saying, look, this is a security token offering for a UK business is probably the worst thing I can do for me. For me, it's the best thing for you, but it's the worst thing for me because it puts me at risk. No one else. I will be the one who gets sued. I'm the one who could go to prison. So it's in my best interest to make this work. So, you send me your Ethereum, you receive tokens. If you deposit a certain percentage of Ethereum, like I've actually set an incentive. If you deposit more than 2 Ethereum, you get a 10% bonus added to the tokens you receive. So it's 2,500 tokens per 1 Ethereum. You can deposit less than that. You can put in 0.1 of an Ethereum, I believe. I don't know what the absolute minimum is. I'd have to check that actually. But it's a smart contract, it's already in place, and it's starting on Monday at 10 in the morning. With that Ethereum, whatever it is, if it doesn't hit 130 Ethereum, let's say I only get 20 Ethereum all in total, because I have quite a small YouTube channel. I would imagine some of you are only going to invest very small amounts of money, and that's personally, I would love to have it where I had 100,000 people invest £50 rather than 10 people that invested £5 each. I would rather that, because then that it gives you more Ethereum addresses at the wallets out there. There's more buying and selling going on, so then that's going to make the price fluctuate rather than just having a couple of big wows. So your Ethereum, once I receive it, I'm then going to put it into another smart contract with a platform like Nexo. Now, when I get that, that means that £50,000 or dollars worth of Ethereum, whatever it is that we raise, I'm only going to get 50% of that. So that only gives me 25,000. Now I will make it so that that account with Nexo is tied to the business. So that means this business now owns Ethereum and properties. If Ethereum goes up in price, I can borrow more money against it. If Ethereum goes down, the platform will automatically start to sell bits of Ethereum off to cover the debt that I've run up on it. So that will sort itself out. I won't have to touch it. I won't have to do anything with it. What we saw with ICOs is they raise a load of Ethereum, they go and dump it on a site, they get a big chunk of money, say £1 million. They create a website, they create marketing, they paid 30,000 to join Binance, they paid 50,000 to join KuCoin, they start sponsoring ads and Coinbase and YouTubers and everything like that, and before you know it, £1 million gone. And then they're like, oh shit, we should have kept the Ethereum. That's my logic behind this. I want this to be a crypto company as well as properties. I'm trying to find a way of merging the two together. And I've seen projects where you buy tokens and they're tied to the value of a said asset. So I think there was a property in Manhattan or something that was completely tokenized. It was like a property in USA tokenized. I think we talked about it on one of my other live streams. There you go, look, $30 million property tokenized. Now that means if you own tokens in that property, the $30 million property, you can't view it. Obviously your token is then secured against that property. So a lot of people were saying in the group chat, the Telegram group chat, that so the tokens that we buy from you are going to be tied to an asset. No, they're not. They're not going to be tied to one specific asset. They're going to be tied to a company that is going to accumulate assets along the way. That might be 1, that may be 20, it may be 50, it may be plots of land, it may be commercial letting outlets, it may be residential homes, it may be HMOs. Loads of different things going on there. The tokens will be tied to the shares of the company. I hope that's clear. I hope everyone understands that bit. But what I plan to do with the Ethereum is to put it into a smart contract, borrow the 50%, which at that point is a tax-free event because I'm borrowing money against an asset. So I won't be liable, I believe, for capital gains tax straight off the bat. I then put that money into a business account, which I will create. I will create a business account which will be tied. I will have a document that actually says, you know, I don't want to say the name of the company just yet, but it's going to have the name of the company and it's going to say directors. I'm going to be a director, and then there's going to be shareholders. I'm going to own shares in the company, and you guys that are buying the tokens, and myself, I plan to buy some tokens. We are going to own shares in that half as well. Now, obviously, I'm going to go off, purchase properties, renovate them, do all the hard work, all the legwork, all the legal work, and then rent them out. That rent will come in, month out. On top of that, you have the capital growth of the properties. So let's just say, hopefully I'm still live. Yeah, I might have to stare at this screen just so I know if I cut off. Let's just say the properties go up in value and I remortgage it and I get 10 grand out of a property. Well, that's 10 grand straight added to the account's holdings. Plus you got the rental income, plus if Ethereum goes up in value as well. So now we've got 3 different sources of income there that are all going into this account. When the accounts get done at the end of the year, so I'm going to typically do them from April to April, I will have to release to everyone, to all the shareholders, what the company has done, which will be in the form of a press release, a newsletter. People can sign up and give me their email address or something like that, and I can send it out to everyone and say, look, company, just like platforms have, I think the most recent one that I've seen is Nexo. They've just shared out £6 million, and I think they share it out, they send it to all their token holders in Bitcoin, and I would love to do that, or in Ethereum, whatever tickles everyone's fancy, because when I do a snapshot of everyone that's holding the tokens at that time, they I'll be able to see all their Ethereum addresses, because this is an ERC20 token, so it must be sent to a Ethereum wallet. I can just say, there you go, you will receive this many Ethereum. Now, obviously the first year, so between now and this April, obviously that's only sort of 6 months, and 2, obviously it's just the start of the coming. This sale's going to go on for 1 month, so then you're talking only 5, and then I have to go and purchase an out property. So yada yada yada. The first tax return is not going to be humongous. And I'll say that very clear at the moment. This sounds very centralised. Still a fine idea. Very centralised. I see what you're saying. Obviously, if I died, then the business would come to an end. But remember, whoever owns the tokens, which that part of it is decentralized, because I will not know. I will not know who owns the tokens, what country they're from. The biggest supply is going to come from Uniswap, which means that I don't have to worry about implications of, I've sold to American users. This is going to be all on Uniswap, decentralized platform. I will not know who the token holders are. The only part of it that is centralized is that I will be running the company. I will be picking the properties, purchasing them, renting them out, and obviously then getting the accounts done, and then obviously sharing that with token holders. When you create a limited company in the UK, everything is disclosed. You can search it through the government. You can type in any company name, any limited company, and it will show their profit accounts for each year that they've been trading. You can view any assets that are associated with that business. So it will say this property at number 1 Church Street in wherever is associated with this company. Whoever owns the tokens owns a share of whatever is on that ledger, on that record. Does that make sense? In that regard, it is very decentralized. Now, obviously, if, say, say if I died, how would you go about, you own the token, which means that you own a share of the company. You would then obviously have to, I assume, say like if you wanted to claim what's rightfully yours, we would have to get an agreement in place where, potentially either someone takes my place or the assets get completely sold off by a third party, and all of the profits that were made from that get shared out to all the token holders in Ethereum. I can't make it any more decentralized than that. We got Nexo tokens for dividend payouts. Crypto Carl, if you don't mind me asking, I assume you don't live in America, because from what I understood was in America they had to be paid out in Bitcoin, otherwise they would be deemed as a security in their country. Right, let's catch up with what some of the questions were from you guys. What's the business plan going to be going forward? How do you plan to pay the investors? So as I said, the profits will come through and I will do a snapshot, and whoever holds the tokens, they will then be sent Ethereum. I would love to develop the coin further and offer staking rewards. Unfortunately, to do something like that, you're talking big bucks, and I would have to do a pre-sale and then make a token, or pay someone to make the token, then do a final sale of that staking token, and so then you are heading down a path of coming across very, very scammy. So I think one hurdle at a time. That's plans that I have going forward. What can you buy with 50k? I've answered that. Oh yeah, so I didn't actually go into all of it. So if you've got, say, 50k or 25k, 30k, yes, there are properties out there. They may not be in the most desirable location, so you have to sort of weigh up like what type of property you want and what location. And that's what I've done with my one. I picked a very nice area and I managed to get a property for 42,000. So it can be done. Just trust me on that regard. It can be done. Now, if you want to buy a property, say for like £100,000, typically you can get things called bridging finance, where essentially you're borrowing money for a very short period of time, either 6 months or 12 months. Typically it's going to be 6 months, and you pay all the interest up front. So as long as you've got enough deposit to pay 25%, so let's say you bought a house for £100,000, you would need 25 grand straight off the bat as a deposit. You would then need all the interest payments for the bridging finance up front. So you would have 6 months worth of, I don't know, £400. So that'd be about 2 grand's worth, or whatever it is, 2.5 grand. So you would pay that at the beginning. They would lend you the rest of the money. Now you go in there, you renovate the property, you rent it out, and then you then get a mortgage on that property. In the meanwhile, this property is all owned by the business. When the business gets that that mortgage on it, you are getting a mortgage under the business name, not under my name. These properties will not be in my name. They will be in the business, and the people that own the business are me as a director and the shareholders. I hope that all makes sense. So you can do a lot with £50,000. Trust me. You can get bridging finance for purchasing a plot of land and building properties on it. And they release money at set stages. So once the foundations are done of a property, then when it's up to the first layer, and then the second layer, and then the roof, and then the internals. So there's all types of creative finance out there. But the thing that holds everyone back is the initial, and I've tried to do it through other means. This isn't my first point of call. I've actually tried doing this, and the more and more I thought about it, I thought, oh, this is a really cool idea. You know, it's all coming at the right time. Cryptocurrencies is in a bull run, so cryptocurrencies is going up in value. Coins are just pumping left, right and centre. Now, I can't promise you that I'm going to release this coin, put it on Uniswap, and it's going to pump 10x. I can't promise you that. And if I did promise you that, you would see through me like a sheet of glass. But you have to say that at some point, someone's going to pick up somewhere the token, and you see a lot of tokens at the moment that are just scams. They are just flat out scams. Everyone knows they're a scam, but yet they pump. So who knows what's on the cards for this coin in particular. I would love to see that happen, and people buying and selling the token, and the people that hold on to them get rewarded. That's what I want to see going forward. So yeah, I think that's everything I've answered for Stephen's question. What about liquidity? Do you use to plan the money for buying properties? Yes, I will use money raised from the Ethereum, and you'll see the name of the company and how it all ties in the next few days. You would need to leave the money on the platform, I guess. I think you're talking about maybe something like Nexo. I mean, I would shop about, obviously, get the best deal. I would then contact them and say, look, I'm looking to make a large deposit. Is any special rates, better loan to value ratios? I would do all of that, obviously, in the background. Will you have a full set of instructions for newbies? What you mean, how to create? I mean, if you want to create your own token, you can just do it. I mean, you can do it for free. If you go on Google and just type in token generator, not that this is what I've done, there are a lot of ERC20 token generators that are for free. Some of them charge you like 50 quid, 100 quid. I've actually used a company that seemed very legit. I've been looking into them I remember looking into them about a year ago, and I've watched lots of YouTube videos about them, read loads of articles, read loads of reviews. I've looked at what platforms they've done this for. So I've got a really good feeling for these guys. So far they've done exactly what they said on the tin. The coins are generated. I can see them. I can't do anything with them. They're in a smart contract, so they will not get released to anyone until it hits its soft cap and the sale ends. So if you invested in it day one, the tokens will not get released to you until the end of September, because this will start at the end of August. Sorry, about the 24th of September. The sale will go on for a full month. You can invest at any time in that. I can't do anything, and if it doesn't hit its soft cap, let's say I don't raise the money to hit the $50,000 that they've worked out, 130 Ethereum, nothing goes ahead, and you all get your money back. The money will go into a smart contract unless it hits that soft cap. It will not go ahead. So either you are, once you invest money into this, you are either going to be getting shares of a company that are going to eventually go out and buy an asset, which several assets, and have the backing of Ethereum in the background, or you're going to get your money back. That's according to the smart contract that I've put in place. So I hope that gives everyone a little bit more confidence, I suppose. But will I be giving instructions? Well, I've just told you how you can create a token, but it's really the business idea. Anyone can create an ERC20 token, and that's what Uniswap tell you. You go to Uniswap and it will say anyone can create an ERC20 token. And yes, you could probably pay someone to pump it on like Uniswap calls or one of those platforms, and you may be able to raise money. The liquidity on them run out, and that is called the rug being pulled. But mine will be all verifiable. You'll be able to view it on Ether Scanner. Like I say, if enough of you invest enough money, potentially I won't get any of the tokens. I will just be working in cohesion with the token holders, but I plan to buy some myself, so I'll probably be one of the first people to buy into the project, to help hit that soft cap. So although I haven't got huge chunks of money to put into it. If I had huge chunks of money, I wouldn't be doing this anyway. I would just go out and do it on my own, I suppose. But I think this is a really cool idea. This is a chance for you to own tokens and say, look, I own that. Now, this was my plan, to buy the properties, video the whole journey, and then obviously I'll be able to say, look, hey guys, this is what your tokens, you own a share of this house. Now, you may think, oh, that house ain't very desirable, but you ain't got to live in it. As long as it's renting out and it's profitable, put that aside. But you will say, oh, I own some of that. What cryptocurrency can you say, hand on heart, can you honestly say, I own something of this? Apart from the fact that you're hoping the price of the token goes up, I'm not even offering you that. I'm not saying, look, this token's going to 10x, going to 100x. I'm not saying that. I'm not offering that, and that's what I won't be promoting. I'm saying, look, if you buy this token, it will be backed by Ethereum, and it will be backed by that property behind me. And there's going to be several of them. Oh, and that plot of land. Oh, and that commercial building over there. That is what the token's going to be backed by. And the people that own the token will own a legal right to said assets. Now, if they sell those tokens, they lose that right. If they buy them, they gain that right again. When the snapshot occurs, they will be entitled to Ethereum profits or Bitcoin or whatever it is we vote on. With ownership of shares, you also have voting rights in the company. So if I wasn't doing a good enough job, the shareholders, which are you guys potentially, will have voting rights. How can I mine Bitcoin on weak PC? Wrong video, Pi, I think. Yeah, I could be voted out by the shareholders. but I hope to obviously do you guys right, and we can all be happy together. What will happen with the interest that is earned on Nexo, and how you will pay the credit line back? So the credit line can be paid back either when properties go up in value, or with the rental income, if you guys want. Now, if you guys all vote on that and say, yeah, we want the Ethereum to be paid off, what I'm saying to you is that I could receive the Ethereum and just sell it, and then get the money in my bank, and then go and buy a property. I can put it in my bank, and I can then go and buy a property. I can do that. The only reason I'm choosing to do this is that it gives more security to the project, and it's my honest belief that Ethereum is going to at some point 10x from where it is now. So therefore you have that asset going up in value, you have house prices going up in value, and the rental incomes. You have 3 sources of revenue there, which you will own a share of. Now, if someone comes along and buys 50% of all the tokens, he will own 50% of all that Ethereum and that property and all of that sort of stuff. If it's over, some people are only putting in £10, £20, £100 here, there, and they will own 1%, and they will get 1% of the profit. And obviously the coin will go up in price, I assume. It will go down in price. And people that buy the tokens on the dips will benefit the most rewards. People can buy a little bit every week. But I'm offering something that I feel is different to what's out there at the moment. I'm not going to the millionaire investors and saying, look, invest in this business with me. I'm going to you guys, that you can invest and own some tangible, actual, real world assets in the form of cryptocurrencies and properties. But good question anyway, Carl. I really like that one. We can either vote on paying the credit line back, or the interest. I don't know if you know, Carl, the interest just gets added to what you owe. When Ethereum drops in valuation, then what they do is the smart contract starts to pay bits off. So let's just say, for example, there's 200 Ethereum in this platform. You then borrow 100 Ethereum's worth of money, which, let's say in today's money, that is $40,000. So you borrow 40,000. You've got 80,000 in there. Ethereum drops. It drops 35-40%. You owe money on it because you have the loan plus you have interest. And now you owe 44,000 against it. If the whole value of all those assets put together in that wallet drop below that amount, they will sell 1 Ethereum off, 2 Ethereum off, 3 Ethereum off. They will sell it off until it equalizes itself out. And then, obviously, if it rises, you can then borrow that money back again. So there's always this tug and pull of what you can and can't do, like borrow against the tokens. We got Nexo tokens. I have to put my fan on. There we go. Will it be a sole trader or a limited company? It will be a limited company. A sole trader, if anyone offers you token sales for a sole trader, that is very scammy. Sole trader, you have no legal right. It's just a guy going out on his own and he's declaring a tax return once a year. That's it. A limited company is actually almost like a person. So imagine you're investing in a single person entity. You get that limited company gets taxed as if he's a person. He owns assets like a person. He has debts like a person. If I say, oh, I've worked really hard and I want a wage from this company, I would say, right, I'm on a payroll. Even if the company had zero money in the bank, I can say, well, the business owes me 20 grand a year, because that's what I'm paying myself and I'd have to pay my own tax on that. The business would owe me that money. Now, I can claim that money back over 6 years and stuff like this, but it's like a person. Think of a person, and that is what a limited company is. A limited company, when you create one, and you have to do this every year, once a year, you have to clarify. No, you have to do it as soon as you set the business up. You have to clarify how many shares are in this company and who owns what. So you have to declare that. It has to be transparent and legit, and you guys can verify it, and this is through the UK government website. This isn't me saying, look, oh yeah, you can verify it through this, and oh yeah, I've got these auditors that no one's ever heard of. I'm saying you can go to gov.uk and search any company's house and say, right, there's their tax returns, there's their assets that they own against the property, so it's all verifiable. And in that regard, I don't know if you would refer to that as decentralized, but it's as transparent as it can be. The staking will be the rental pro venue. You can pay out more often than just once a year. Yeah, we could do. I mean, obviously it's going to be dictated by what the company earns profit-wise for the year. Now, whether you get that as one big lump sum payment or whether you get it as staking rewards, we can vote on that. I personally think that it should be once a year, because you just... What would have to happen in that regard, Fred, is you would have to wait at least 1 year, then do a tax return. So let's say the company has turned over £1 million profit. You would then say, oh, okay, so no one's received staking rewards up to that point. You would then pay £1 million worth of staking rewards over 52 weeks to token holders. Now, I'm not saying the company will earn £1 million, especially not in the first couple of years anyway, but unless we raise loads of money. Like, if we raise like the full million that I've set, I think 1.6 million, then I can do a lot of deals very quickly, and I can start, before you know it, obviously the business can earn quite a lot of money very quickly. And once you've got those, like I say, once you've got those free assets, all of a sudden banks are your best friends. Then I can start borrowing money very quickly. The business will get a credit line, like a borrowing that it can just do. So now I haven't even got to use these bridging finances, which take a month to go through. Now I can just buy properties like bam, 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 bam. So yeah, I mean, if the more money we raise, the quicker things will happen, and the more successful it will be and more profitable it will be. I know that. I know that. Obviously, things can happen out of my control, but you know, the more money we raise, the more profitable it will be. Why not raise money in a stable coin using Ethereum? It's pure gambling, even in a bull market. Why not raise money in a stable coin? I wouldn't know how to create a stable coin. And then you're saying what? Stable backed by Ethereum, which is essentially DAI token. Create my own stable DAI coin. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. I don't know if that's the best way around it, to be honest. I mean, these ideas are all great, what you're coming up with, guys, but the real world implications are that most of the investment that you're putting in, so let's just say I managed to raise the £50,000 or dollars, it will all get eaten up by trying to do the things that you're talking about, whereas I know I can go and do something very profitable with that money. Pi Network, would you like to mine more than 1 penny per year? Pi Network said, by the way, I'm one of your sabs. Good live. Thanks, mate. Thanks for subscribing. Don't forget to smash that like button. You can earn interest on what you aren't using for the credit line. You can earn interest on what you aren't. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes. Yes, you are right. With Nexo, you can earn interest on the Ethereum or whatever coin that you're not earning. So maybe Fred's, that's maybe what Fred's talking about. Why don't I convert the Ethereum into a stable coin, then stake that on Nexo so that I'm earning interest on it? Using ETH. Oh, using ETH is pure gam. Yeah, I see what you're actually saying there. So both of you are suggesting I sell the Ethereum straight for a stable coin and then put that into a platform and then borrow money against the stable coin and then you earn interest on the... That's a good idea. I'd have to look at the implications of that. It means that obviously I had this idea I had a dream. I had an idea that the properties will be backed by Ethereum, and so then you've always got those two assets. I like the thought of, if properties go down, typically they go down because something happens in the financial sector. If the financial sector goes down, everyone puts their money into gold, and we've seen that just recently. The dollar got weaker and weaker over the last week or so. Gold has gone up and up and up, and this has affected Bitcoin massively, and Ethereum and all the others. What I like the idea of is you've got this business which is heavily reliant on properties and the property prices and the property valuations and everything like that, and the finance sector and the mortgaging sector. Well, how do you hedge against that? And in my opinion, the hedge against that is a cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and Ethereum. None of the others. Those two. Stablecoin, you get 50%. Ethereum, you only get 19% of what you've got. Don't think that's right. I think you get something like 48%. LTV rates. There is a list here where you can actually view. So if it's on that page, Ethereum is just above 50%. It's 50.8%. Bitcoin is 52.7%. Stable coins are 90%. So yeah, if I needed more money, I suppose it would make sense to do one of these, probably DAI, because then DAI is still within the Ethereum ecosystem, and that is backed by the price of Ethereum, so Ethereum goes up. So yeah, you could do that, I suppose. Your collateral. You got PaxG, which is Pax Gold. See, none of this else.